Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basden, and joining me yet again as we get closer and closer to the third red and blue going down in defeat, Jason Juggling J Ford. Jay, we have a very interesting show this evening with obviously the women's under 20 national team getting off to a flying start last night right here at the National Sports Center. Our under 19 cricket team is in Canada, not doing as well as they would have loved to do. Bermuda won their first youth gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. So it's going to be an action-packed show, one I'm looking forward to.
Let's get with it.
Well, first, let's get a message from our sponsor.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Jay, last night, right here at the National Sports Center, I think people would have left here, even with the score at 5-1, they would have left here satisfied with the way the women's game is going in Bermuda. Looking to play football, looking to do the small things that made that 5-1 victory even more of a complete match for Bermuda.
Earl Basin, and I've just thought about it just now. Let's go back a couple of months ago when our men's team played here. And after the game, what did we say about that game?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. So the National Academy setup is heading in the right direction. And for that matter, local football, because these players come out of local football. Some are overseas getting extra training and so forth, but their base is right here in Bermuda, and we can't forget that. One thing I did note last night was that players work very hard for each other. At the end of the game, the girls celebrated because I think they were overjoyed and satisfied with the performance overall. The victory came, but I think it was their performance overall that they were all satisfied with.
I think, Earl, we've spoke about it for many times and for many years about buy-in. And buy-in of a program, buy-in from the board all the way down, the philosophy of what Bermuda football should look like, and come up through the ages. And we've talked about this particular group punching well above its weight in the last tournament. Just seeing these girls, you know, they really shocked a lot of folks, but we've seen the growth and maturation of these young ladies. And to see them at this under 20 level, you know, our expectations for us is a little bit different than the average person because we know what these girls are capable of.
Right.
But what I do love about these teams, they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
We've seen some players come in and some players go out, but still look the same way going forward.
I know Nikita Robinson, who has worked along with Aaron Denkins and Vance Brown, and they devised a system and a method to make sure that the under-20s play just like the under-11s. And they've preached that and had the girls training all together at the same time, so everybody understands the system. So if you look at a lot of the girls that were in this team last night and in the squad were part of that team that was criticized. Heavily criticized. You know, locally, not deserving though. But I think that has helped to spur them on as well, because it was the first opportunity that they would have been given to show the entity which criticized them that, hey, we are as good as we think we are, and you need to see us to be as good as. And I think when those folks left last night, they left with that understanding that, hey, they have something going here.
And that's the fortunate part is that, I should say the fortunate part is that the BFA has been given the opportunity for these girls to play at home.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when we don't get to see our team play at home, and we only hear about it via other sources of media, sometimes you don't get the whole story.
Right.
Because you might be getting a story that's written by the opposing team's
Yes,
media.
yes.
So you will get a different perspective of the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, until you actually come out and see, and this is what we've been preaching for years, before we start criticizing any of our national teams, ask one question, look in the mirror, when was the last time you went and supported the team?
Yeah, supported
Supported the team.
Yeah. Well, Jay, after the match last night, I got a chance to speak with Bermuda's captain and coach, as well as Curaçao's captain and coach. Let's get those interviews following last night's 5-1 win for Bermuda. Well, Eva, you guys got the start you really, really wanted. First half a bit worrying, missing a few chances offside. What was that team talk halftime?
Our team talk was we were doing what we needed to do. We were more aggressive than the team. All we had to do was put our chances away. Our team talk was our coaches were happy with what we were doing, but we just needed to do that one more thing. Good energy, confidence, and we knew that this game it was our game. We just had to make it ours.
You guys looked like you wanted to stamp your authority, especially winning most of the tackles, being first to the ball. Was that the tone you wanted to set in front of this home crowd?
Obviously, yes. We had the home crowd. We wanted to show them that girls can play, and we want to show them that they're in our house and they weren't coming out on top. That's what we needed to do. We need to be the first to the ball. We need to be first in the air. We needed to play our game and show them that they were in Bermuda,
All right, well, good win. Get some rest. We got Jamaica on Sunday.
Much. See you there.
Well, Aaron Dinkins, halftime, we kind of dominated that first half, but didn't put those chances away. I asked the captain what was the team talk. She said that you guys were really happy with what you were seeing. It was just that final. What made the difference in the second half?
Sorry, before we go, I'd like to send my condolences to the family of the young lady who just died on the road. Bermuda's football community is small, and the female football community is smaller, and she was one of ours at one point. So I'd like to send condolences to her family. The first half was we just didn't put that ball away. We always knew that once we got that first goal, more would come. So it's just a matter of us putting away that first chance. Once they got it, it was just a matter of more to come after that. The bench players came on, they added a spark. So yeah, happy.
Your posture changed when it went to 1-1. You came off the bench a little more. You were kind of trying to get the girls back focused. What were some of the things you were trying to implement at that point in time to get them refocused and get them back into that lead?
Well, we had a game plan, and our game plan was to be very aggressive, to give them no space in the midfield. And once that goal went in, we kind of laxed. And it's I hate to say it, but it's typical Bermuda mentality. We get on and we just shut off. So it's just a matter of getting them to turn back on and understand it was still in this game. So I mean, it was an unfortunate goal, a little lapse in concentration, but it's just a matter of getting off. That's my job. I have to pick them up and say let's keep going.
How does this set you up for come Sunday night?
I think it puts us in a good position. Most tournaments that we go to, we're studying opponents, we're looking at them and wondering what they're going to bring. I think it's opposite now. I think that they're wondering what we're going to do. So we have a game plan for Jamaica, we had a game plan for Curaçao, so we just have to execute our game plan against Jamaica, and I think we'll be fine.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
My name is Deonta Schepers.
Okay. Well, you wanted to come out and actually get a good start in Bermuda, and it didn't work out that way, but what did you think of your overall performance?
I think we started the first half really good. It was 0-0. Then I think someone made a mistake in the middle, and then it became 1-0. But then we tried to fix it, and we did fix it at 1-1. But then after that, they scored. It went 2-1, and our midfield just split up. And because the midfield split up, Bermuda's team saw it, and they started playing through the middle. That's the way they got to the goal. And we tried to talk to the midfield, tell them stay together. But because I think they were tired, they were mentally, they're like, okay. Some of them, I don't think they give up, but because they're tired, and people had injuries and stuff. I have an injury right now, and I think because of those small things, it just lead up to I don't know, like a stress level or something. We start panicking. We start kicking the ball for no reason, just kicking it, and that's the way they got to score goals against us.
Would you be a little disappointed that St. Lucia couldn't make it to give you another opportunity to play another game?
Yes, I think if they were here, we could play against them. We had one more game, so we had one more opportunity to give our all. It was our first match, and if St. Lucia was here, we could have seen the game against Bermuda against Jamaica. So maybe if we saw the game, we say like, okay, number like 3, 4, 5 or something. They're the good players. We have to look at them. But we didn't have that, so everyone is surprised. It's new. It's first game. I think we have to just do our best and go against Jamaica on Friday.
All right, well, good luck in that match on Friday.
Thank you, sir.
Casey Royer.
Okay. All right, Casey, a rough start to tonight's match, to the tournament for you, but you have a day to recover and then it's back to Jamaica. What will you need to do differently to try and improve on your performance and come up with a result?
Okay, good night. I think the first part we need to refocus when everything is going not on our side. We need to focus back and go back to the part we train it. We don't need to give the middle part to the team so they can give the goals in our back. So I think we need to refocus and focus on the plan, the starting plan, and focus on our plan, and to make it the whole 90 minutes when the way we talk about it.
Well, good luck come Friday night.
Thank you.
Jay, as I said at the top of the show, Bermuda won its first ever gold medal at the Youth Commonwealth Games, with Matthew Oliveira winning the boys' time trial, and with Alyssa Rouse winning the bronze medal in the girls' time trial. But huge for Bermuda. As we know, in the Commonwealth, we've won a few medals, especially in the sport of triathlon and in other areas. But Youth Commonwealth Games now making its mark, and to have in our midst the top Commonwealth cyclist in time trial is a huge accomplishment for Bermuda.
Yeah, once again, you said it, we do have some history in the male event or the seniors event, but to see now in the juniors event and with Matthew Oliveira, Alyssa Rose, the likes, we even seen Caden
Hopkins
doing quite well.
Right.
And we're, like I said, this is in the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
You know, once again, we are 21 square miles.
A town, a village in one of those places.
And we're doing quite well. But also, like I said, doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
The amount of hours and hours of training, but also support,
yes,
close-knit support that need, because most of these, we're talking cycling, that's basically individual sport, and a lot of times it's the motivation to get up and go ride by yourself.
That's right.
But especially for a time trial, it's just you and the clock.
That's right.
So it's be interesting to see how they make up with the rest of the games.
They have a road race on Friday. That's cycling. Swimming we'll do each day. Jesse Washington made it to the final of the 50-meter breaststroke.
Expecting big things from Jesse.
Sure. Madeline Moore is taking part as well. But, Jay, little surprise. Ben Smith, the national coach, and I have been talking about this for quite some time behind the scenes. Never really want to make it public because you don't want to put pressure on a family or on a youngster. But it had to come down to Emma Harvey making a decision whether she was going to continue with Bermuda or go along with Scotland, and she's representing Scotland at the Youth Commonwealth Games, reaching 2 finals. For me, still proud because we have seen what she's been capable of doing from a young age. She honed those skills right here at the Bassa Pool in Bermuda, and I don't think she'll ever forget her start. And no matter how far she goes, she'll carry a little Bermuda with her.
I mean, Earl, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because as much as us being selfish,
yes,
we would love for her to drape that Bermuda flag around when she stands on that podium. But when you look at what she's given to the sport and what she's trying to get out of the sport at this present time, what country gives her the best opportunity? And unfortunately, we have our restrictions. We have our restraints here in the island, and we've already seen this with a few athletes, and there is quite a few that's going to have to make that decision coming down the road. And if we talk about swimming, you know that family.
Eamon Daly made that decision just recently.
Right, the Daly family.
Yeah.
You know, there's 3 swimmers that can all, like, if we can all lose them to that point. It's over with Dalray Rollins.
Nathan Trott.
We can go on and on, and indeed, we're talking about kids.
Yeah.
We're talking about kids, so we're talking about youngsters. I mean, when we heard about it before with, let's say, Antonio Pierce, okay, we know there's a connection.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But to know that these kids, like I said, they were groomed here.
Yeah, that's right.
They were groomed here.
That's where they got started.
And I think we're going to probably have to have a national conversation. We've spoke about it many other times, especially in pockets, but also here on the show. What is a solution, or what are some things that we can look to achieve
to hold
them here? Because let's face it, it's going to come down to finances.
Yes.
And if sports and arts and things are the first one to go when the economic times are tight, then you're always going to put athletes in jeopardy of obtaining their elite status or to maintain their elite status without family support.
Right.
You got to think, if you be truthful, if you took away the family support of Duffy, you took the family support of Butterfield away, they could probably tell you, even the family support of Tyrone Smith.
Yeah.
And Trey Houston. Yeah. Take that family support away, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you they'll probably be out of the sport by now.
That's right, without a doubt.
So it's going to be a conversation that has to be had. We've heard many things, options, maybe a sports lottery.
Right.
But we have to find some type of revenue, because there's a great bunch of athletes that are not too far distance.
Right behind. The decision's got to be made.
Decision's going to have to be made.
Yeah. Well, Jay, from the Youth Commonwealth Games to the Para World Championships, Jessica Lewis is in action in London. Pink Hurricane, as Jay has called her. She reached the 400-meter T53 final, finishing 7th, but season best time. Let's get the report of Jessica thus far over in the UK. Jessica Lewis competed in the women's T53 400-meter final as the World Para Championships continued, taking place in London. Lewis took to the start line and finished 7th with the season best time of 1:01.12.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, I know national coach Clay Smith is not having the time he would have wanted to have over in Canada with the under-19 national team playing in the ICC Americas under-19 Cricket World Cup qualifiers against USA and Canada. Prior to leaving, he was upbeat about doing all the small things right, and that hasn't materialized. It's unfortunate. 2 games to go. Lost heavily in both matches. The first one, a 6-wicket defeat to USA in a 2020, and then, of course, yesterday going down by 141 runs to Canada, being billed out for 88 must be a little disheartening for the coaching staff and the players, for that matter.
Yeah, for the players, I think more so for the players, because I think of the coaching staff. They did mention on a prior interview. There's a very young team.
Yeah.
And some of the youngest players we probably have some of the biggest responsibilities.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And in saying that, we've got 14-year-old players
Playing the under-19 tournament.
playing the under-19 tournament.
But Jay, can I just say this?
Mhm.
For the past 5 years, we keep hearing that. What are we doing to ensure that after they play their first game, they stay around? Because we've been to this tournament here the last few years and said, okay, these players could play again. These players could play again. These players could play again. Well, what happened to the players that played already?
Well, Earl, that's the magic question, and we're not seeing it not only in
Cricket.
we're seeing it in football. And to be honest with you, nobody wants to keep talking about the elephant in the room and talking about the social ills of our country right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That generation, that 16 to 18, 16 to 19 generation, we lose a lot of kids to the social ills we have in this country. And unfortunately, that's the time when we shouldn't be giving up on these kids.
Right.
We have all these great programs up to the U14s. We see that we're up here at the stadium. We see that the Kappa tournament.
Yeah.
We see well supported. A lot of resources.
Yeah.
But then, how hard it is year after year to get an under-19 season going in either sport.
Yeah.
In either sport. So, let's be real with ourselves. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to pick an under-19 sport.
Yeah.
So you almost got to go back to where you was good at, which is the U14s, U16
yes.
players.
And the one or two under-19s that are still hanging around. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the reality.
Yeah.
And look, once again, these honest conversations. The board could only do so much. 'Cause
Yeah.
you could only pick on what's available.
Right. My message just now was more to clubs to try and figure out a way to come together and see how we can capture and keep these youngsters in sports that will keep them off the street, doing something positive and making them feel good about themselves.
Well, Earl, we normally don't get political. We just had a political change here in the island.
Yeah.
And
You mean we don't get political?
I try not to get political.
Political every day.
But for me, my message, or I only urge folks, is to that we, not a government, not our local politicians, not our church leaders, we as fellow Bermudians, we have to support each other. It has to start with us first.
Yeah.
Okay? So we identify that our community clubs supposed to be a safe haven. Can we honestly say they've been a safe haven for our youngsters in the past 5-6 years?
No.
Honestly?
No.
But they're supposed to be a safe haven. So we have to get and take back our clubs. We hear that after a shooting, or we hear that after something that's in the neighborhood, but then that goes quiet
Yeah.
until the next one. Until we go back, and sometimes it's not money, sometimes it's time,
Yes.
volunteering time. That's how these clubs were raised before. We're in the women's auxiliary, and we can go on and on what used to happen. But we've gotten away from that, and we're relying on an outside source to basically carry that on.
Right.
Well, we need to get money from an exempt company to have an after-school program. Well, what about some of the parents in the neighborhood saying, look, you do 1 hour a day, I do 1 hour, you do 1 hour. We've got the same after-school program. You know that, right?
There you go.
We talked about it many years. I mean, we talked about it a couple of shows before. Youth centers in the island. You grew up in St. George's. That was a big youth center.
Yep.
But we've seen, I heard rumors that, and I won't say rumors because I don't know what's the issue, but I've heard that the Hamilton Youth Center on the verge of closing.
Yeah. Could be.
So these are the things I think we have to have a conversation, because it translates to, once we have better citizens coming out of these clubs, you see it translate on the field. Once you see it translate on the field, then it translates to national program. National program, it takes us. See, it's. But we got to go back to where it starts.
Right.
Like you said, it starts at our clubs.
Yeah.
And the clubs need help. It's not
Without
too
a doubt.
If we talked off air, let's be honest. How many players that play for each team at a club are financial?
Yeah, that's a big issue.
And most constitutions, that's supposed to be financial.
Yeah, in order to step on the field, in order to put on a jersey, it should be financial. But
You think we're gonna get in trouble for this?
no, because what we're saying is the truth.
Okay, I just saying.
Well, most people do get in trouble for speaking the truth, so that's why most politicians are never in trouble.
But getting back to the game, going back to the game, there were a few things that highlighted in the first game. Drop catches. These are things that we could probably possibly clean up on, obviously. But I will say there's a few things that did stand out to me. The opener, Solomon Burrows.
56.
Yeah, the first match, but also being able to hang around for the second match. And another highlight for me is the young Marcus Scotland. Not only keeping wickets well,
Yeah.
been very tight. He hasn't let too many balls go through. But also, even though we only scored 88 runs, he was involved in 220-run partnerships.
Yeah.
You know,
The English patience.
well, we talked about that.
Sure.
So, you take that. Now, it's unfortunately, Richardson was unable to get going because he was probably the informed batsman, and he hasn't yet to, really get going.
Right.
Daly Richardson bowling well.
Yeah.
Both games.
10 overs, 2 for 27 yesterday.
Both games
Yeah.
bowling well.
Yeah. Keeping the runs down.
Keeping the runs down.
Most times in a limited over game, a lot of people say, "Oh, you need to take wickets," but you frustrate a batsman by denying him runs, and then
It's called pressure.
and then he panics.
It's called pressure.
Yeah.
If you can tie down one, then you
Yeah.
got to try to hit on that deal.
And what happens 9 times out of 10?
Yeah.
That person gets out because they're trying to do stuff they want to do to the other guy, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we wish him well for the next match.
yeah.
But I think coming out of this, we just got to look at some of the small things that we are doing great and just work on them. And like I said, hopefully we can keep this group together.
Yeah.
We keep talking about it. But this is, like I said, this is the age limit where we've got a few kids, even Mills, bowling well, and 14 years old.
Yeah.
So we just got to keep them together and keep them together past 16, 17. We got to keep them together.
Yeah.
Because I hate to tell you, Earl, if we're having problems here, what's going to be next? It's the senior program.
Yeah. Well, we're going to stay with cricket because on Saturday down at the North Field, it was the Hiscox Under 11 All-Star game.
Was it?
I know you had a lot of fun. Former Premier of Bermuda, Michael Dunkley, injured.
That was wrong for you to show him in slow motion.
Well, you had to get the effect of the incident.
Yeah.
I mean, I really slowed it down because I wanted to make sure that everyone saw that he hit his wicket and not the youngster hit the wicket.
Right.
So
But
that
I didn't see that from the ports, but I'm glad you pointed it out.
yeah,
to me.
that was the reason why, because you don't often see guys dive into their crease and keep sliding and hit the stumps.
Yeah, a note to Mr. Dunkley, when you do attempt to play this game again, I don't know if you will, if you're too injured. But when you run on the side of the wicket and you slide, so you go into empty space. And it's actually softer because it's greener.
Well,
The wicket is sort of harder, so just for future purposes. No, but once again, Hiscox has been involved the 12th year that they have been involved in the youth cricket, the under 14s, and I think the 9th time they actually had the tournament.
Right.
I've been involved probably about 7 out of those 9 years, and it's always been a pleasure to not only MC but to talk about our fellow politicians and all the athletes that become out. To see David Brett look like he's never held a cricket bat in his life. Yes, Brett, I did say that.
You put that. Somebody put that in
Yes.
his hand, and he stood there like,
Yeah.
okay. So what am I supposed to
The
do?
ball hit him a few times because
Sure.
he didn't hit the ball. The ball
Yeah.
hit him. But to see Power Girl now probably on a consecutive street of 5 ducks in a row, they have renamed her as Power Duck. See the former national coach and national captain, he also picking up a duck and also being getting out by his niece.
Yes, everyone.
Sanaa. So it was a lot of nice little partnerships. You see the assistant commissioner Antoine Daniels bowling against his son.
Yeah. He actually bet it with his mother-in-law.
Yes, you did say that. Yes, yeah, better with his mom. So it was a nice family atmosphere there, and I just hope Hiscox once again continues the sponsorship of a great event that happens every year. This year was a little bit later due to the America's Cup, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go back to June because it was a bit hot out there.
Yeah, very. Yeah. But
let's go to this week's Saturday.
Eastern County, biggest rivalry in the actual county itself. St. David's, the cup holders, taking on Bailey's Bay at Lords and St. David's. Had an opportunity to speak with the president of Eastern County, Stephen Douglas, as well as the 4 captains about this year's series. Let's get those interviews, and we'll come back with the Bailey's Bay cricket team.
Year's Eastern County Games. I'd like to introduce you to our guests. My name is Emily. I'm the Digicel marketing manager. This is Carlandra Smith. Hi, everyone. So I know that for us, Digicel, being the title sponsor is a great honor. It's our 3rd year running, and it's such a beautiful heritage game here in Bermuda. And we have lots planned for you this year as players and as guests. So Carlandra Smith will take us through some of the things we have on the itinerary.
Yeah. Thanks, Emily, for the introduction, and thanks everyone for coming out today. As Emily mentioned, Digicel was super excited about being able to sponsor such an important sport in Bermuda, and of course Eastern County. This year we have some exciting things happening. For example, we have a halftime shows. This week we're going to be starting it off, and we have a competition called How's That? And spectators will be able to participate in this event, and they'll actually be able to bat up against some of our captains to actually see if they can actually, get some 6 and 4s. And that special spectator that does great would actually win a third of their choice. So this is a super, super exciting halftime activity show. Never been done, so we look forward to getting some great feedback and some participation from the Bermudians. Outside of that, we also will be giving away some great fun Digicel giveaways for people to use during the event. We also would like to have some more interaction with the customers, so we're going to be doing multiple social media activities where people can actually they can participate, they can upload pictures, and actually win great prizes throughout the whole season. We also have some commercial activities for customers that actually come into the stores and purchase new LTE smartphone plans, and they will be able to win something super, super special. I'm not going to release that yet, but it is coming to you soon. So yeah, we look forward to the excitement and the activity all around the events.
Thank you, Carla. That's great. We look forward to, as Carla said, communicate with people and get to know the game a little bit better, because I know I myself don't know cricket very much yet, but we hope to have some forums and some social media feeds on how the game's played, and also how the teams do their best to win. So we're looking forward to that. Without further ado, I'd like to pass the baton off to Stephen, who's going to take us through, his vision for this year and what he's excited about Eastern County.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks to Digicel for partnering with the Eastern Counties and this year's series. As Emily said, it's our 3rd year of working with them, and I'd like to thank Calandra for all the new innovation things that she's looking to bring in. This will help to bring it somewhat like for those of you who have been to a couple of one-dayers and test matches in the Caribbean. Calandra wants to bring that type of appeal to the series this year. Also, this year it's a great year for us, but bringing along the captains here to bring the game along. They are the leaders of this competition in ways, because they lead their teams on the field, and that's what everyone mostly comes to see. It's a game on the field. And the first round is this week Saturday between St. David's and Bailey's Bay, and the winner of that will play Cleveland County on August 19th, and the winner of August 19th will play the Mighty Flats on September the 2nd. So for those of you who are there at the game and you have your little stalls, hopefully we can have some lagosta/lobster for you on the field at the same time. But it's always great when you can work with people that helps to make your product better. And this year is no different from the last 2 years of working with Digicel. So
to Digicel, thank you very much for what you've done thus far. And with this social media of it, it's not my forte, but it's for the younger ones.
OJ, as cup holders, obviously your biggest task is always the first one, Bay is Bay. Your thoughts on how your preparation has been going thus far and coming in as strong favorites, having not lost yet this season?
Yeah, preparation's been excellent, actually. You know, as you say, we've had a good season so far. You know, we're looking to carry that momentum into Saturday, you know, but at the same time, we can't take nothing for granted. You know, you're saying, what are favorites? But one thing when it comes to being St. David's, you know, it's one day. You know, both teams have excellent teams. You know, Bears have been a little unfortunate where they had a rough start to their season, but again, this is Connie Cup. You know, on the day we know they could rise to the occasion. They have a few players that didn't play last year that could play this year, that strengthened their team. So, you know, we have to be on our P's and Q's. And like I say, preparation's been good. You know, had a good turnout last night. And again, I look to carry that momentum from the league into Connie.
How difficult is it picking St. David's team week on late?
It's very difficult. I mean, every week it seems like it's something as far as picking our team because we have so much quality. Obviously, in reference to Seti, we can't pick Dion. You know, he's uneligible. I got Adam Douglas. You have Kevin Hurdle, and you also have Ajan Dan. He's been wicket keeping for us. So, you know, they're my spots there. We got a few. We obviously have quality players that we can pick from. You know, likes of Lionel Can, Chris Fugger, you know, even Mackay, Simmons, the newly appointed cup match captain, is eligible. So, you know, these guys have been out training. So, like I say, we'll see tomorrow night how the ends go. The next few nights, actually, tonight and tomorrow night. And I know Bay picked their team tonight, and we'll pick ours tomorrow. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
The fact that you've beaten them twice this season, does that count for anything? I mean, other than maybe a morale booster, but at the end of the day, it's another game that you have to play well to win, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, like I said, it's played on the day. Yeah, it is a morale booster beating them twice. You know, both games have been tight. You know, one of the games came down to one run, the 2020 final. But again, on the day, you know, we always say that cricket is played on the day or on paper. This team's better than the other. Again, on the day, we'll see what happens. You know, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot and start breaking or this and that, you know. So we'll see on Saturday.
What about your health? How you feeling? You ready for Saturday?
Yeah, I should be fine for Saturday. Must admit, last night I had a little brief session with the team, and you know, I wasn't feeling still 100%, but you know, still a few more days to catch myself, and yeah, I'll be ready to rock and roll.
Rodney, OJ alluded to the fact that you guys haven't had the start you would have been hoping for. Sum up your season thus far.
Well, yes, as we all know that we haven't started off the season as well as we wanted to. But at the end of the day, this is a Connie match right here. You know what I'm saying? So this is a whole different ball game. You know, St. David's have played extremely well through the season. And like I said, we haven't played as well as we should have been playing. But like I said, you know, a lot of times people look at the names. You know what I'm saying? The game is played on the field. You know, but at the end of the day, on Saturday, this is a whole different ball game. You know, this is Connie, this is the community, this is family, all of that, you know. But like I said, right now, St. David's do have the upper hand on us, so they have the little bit more motivation, you know, and the confidence. But like I said, on Saturday, it's a totally different ball game.
How did you get your team up for Connie?
Well, I'm pretty much tried everything I possibly can try. To be honest, you know, I haven't even been with the team for the last week. All last week, you know, my granny had passed on a Monday, so, you know, I haven't even been there. My first training with the team was today, you know, but I do send messages and, you know, send different little messages to guys. We went swimming on Monday. We tried everything, you know, so on Saturday, we have to come with the goods. That's it.
What do you think it's going to take for you guys to actually wrestle the cup away from CBA?
Well, to be honest, the last 3 years, well, we had the rough end of the stick the last 3 years, you know. Chris batted well. We end up, you know, draw a match by 2 wickets. The year before that, the incident with Cleveland. The year before that, it rained. You know, so like I said, man, I'm did my prayers. I did every possible thing for a blessing to come our way. It has to come sometime soon, and it has to. And I'm hoping that it comes on Saturday.
You obviously got a couple of guest players. Well, I shouldn't say guest players.
Thank you kindly. Qualified players.
Qualified players, yeah. And how are they, like people like Derek, what are they going to bring to the team, and how difficult is it going to be for you to pick your team on Saturday?
Derek brings a lot of qualities to our team, to be honest. Like, you know, his burden, his batting, and just his presence, his aura. Like even at training, he's the one that's, you know, they're pushing guys, bringing guys along. Like, you know, I'm trying to have a little surprise package on Saturday, hoping that I can pull a little card out of the hat on Saturday, hoping that it works, but it's up to the individual if he decides he wants to play or not. But like I said, you know, Connie game is a totally different ball game. I ain't had, from Sunday, I'm had about 100 fan calls. My Digicel B was probably going to be up sky high this morning because the whole Bay community has called me, and, you know, everybody has something to say about Connie or what should happen or what we should do. But on Saturday, you know, this is it. This is our challenge right here.
And this is also a chance to give something to your fans who haven't been suffering this season, not a team that's been consistent at all.
Right.
And they'll be out in numbers. And as St. Davis fans will be, it's one of these competitions that, you know, needs no publicity really, in a sense. It just promotes itself.
Yes, definitely. And like I said, you know, we ain't had the start to the season that, you know, was expected. But in all due respect, if we be in on Saturday, the whole community will not be worried about the rest of the games that were lost. And that's just how it is. You know, so like I said, Saturday is the big day.
Get nervous a little bit? Or just excitement?
It's really the excitement. Actually, I'm kind of excited that Digicel have brought on these new little changes that they brought, like halftime break, where Calandra said, you know, they're gonna be giving out stuff to, you know, to the fans and doing different things. I think that's extremely good, you know, because like I said, it also gives something to the fans to look forward to during the break and stuff like that. So, you know, I like to thank Digicel for what they're doing. You know, I think that's an extremely good thing.
You get a chance to see 2 matches before you guys actually play. Is that correct? You played
Yeah.
the last game. An opportunity to watch and see how teams develop. And over the years, Flex has been one of those teams that can put together half of a game. How do you guys plan to put together a whole game to sort of put your hands on the trophy?
Just gotta stay focused for the day, pretty much. That's what it boils down to. Little details, staying in the match. Like, you know, difficult times will come, but guys gotta fight through that, and then, you know.
Of late, you guys have been playing rather well. What do you contribute that to?
Guys just got into the season. Like the start of the season, we also had a slow start, but we just picked our game up week by week, and it's just going from there.
You've had a good knock. Reggie Baker's had a good knock. You had decent building. Looking at the other teams over the last few years, what are some of the things you're going to require in order to wrestle the cup from one of these 3 teams because they played in front of you guys?
To be honest with you, our Achilles heel for the last couple of years just been our catching. I dropped a lot of catches, so we're definitely going to have to nip that in the bud real fast, you know?
Like Earl said, you got 2 good results today. You got Wilcox, and before that it was PAT, and they have a first defeat in the league. And then obviously you won at St. Davis, which gives you a chance to kind of, you know, see how the Wickets is playing like down there as well. But obviously it's giving you a tremendous boost, you think, in terms of getting the team mentally prepared for this. And would you have preferred to play like maybe an earlier round, or not be processed far? But I'm sure you're eager to get going. You know what I mean? After the week of September.
I guess you could say this year is a little later than normal, but any round, it really doesn't matter. You just gotta be ready when you're day for it.
Dennis, you got an opportunity to try and win the trophy back. Second, you guys have had what you would consider rougher than these guys' season start. Connie's a totally different thing, but what are you going to have to do to turn it all around?
Well, it's been rough since last season, you know. We lost our coach due to the national program, is unable to do both. apparently. So we haven't been able to secure a full-time coach per se for the start of this season, which has affected us quite tremendously. We have yet to win a league game. Well, the only way now is up, because we ain't getting done. I can believe that, we ain't getting done till the fat lady sings. You know what I mean? But pertaining to the Connie game, it's very interesting. The first draw, being St. David's, it set it up pretty decent for us right after cup match,
Now, the fact that you guys have held the cup of late, what is the community vibe leading into this series? And obviously, 2 weeks after cup match, it's your turn.
Well, it's very exciting, Every year, Connie Games are excited, not for just our community, being we won the trophy over the last couple of years, but for all 4 of the Connies, it's a buzz in the air all around, And for us playing second, right after cup match, our chances look pretty good.
You think guys be burnt out?
Guys be either burnt out or over celebrating.
So there's still a lot for you guys to play for this
Yeah,
season.
plenty to play for. Connie's not everything. It used to be everything until we won it. But staying up is a priority.
You got to beat these 2 in the league.
Yeah.
Sound confident?
Yeah. It's cricket. It's cricket.
See your bad side. Yes.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, you've heard from the 4 captains as well as the president, but as Rodney Trott alluded, that they will be picking their team last night. And tonight we bring you the Bailey's Bay cricket team for Eastern County on Saturday.
Well, the captain, obviously, Rodney Trott. Vice captain, Taryn Frey. Sinclair Smith. Stephen Otterbridge. Malachi Jones. The coach this year will be Derek Brangman. They talked about it in the interview. Kyle Hutzel. Zico Burgess. Trey Mendes, who plays his league cricket now with Western Stars, former player of Bailey's Bay. Trey Govia. And Cooley Dorm. The reserves is Danico Hollis, Azende Furbit, and Nairobi Carmichael.
Interesting selection.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. One thing that stuck out to me, and I will mention it, is that they're absolutely right. This series, for some, it's cup match to these players. For some, it's more than cup match to these players. And it doesn't matter, even though St. David's has had the upper hand during the league this year, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
On Saturday, things could be totally up. And St. David's knows this, because not too far in history, that they were...
She was on the other foot.
She was on the other foot. They came in as the expectations were high. They were highly favored. And down in Bailey's Bay...
They
basically got embarrassed.
Yeah.
That is still fresh in those guys' minds, because majority of the players are still there.
Yeah.
If you look at even St. David's group they got now, if it wasn't for the heroics of Flossie, last year, without a pitcher,
there'd have been challenges.
There would have been challenges.
Yeah.
And once again, St. David's was the best team in the league last year. So it should be interesting who St. David's picks, because coming into just reading off those names, the only person that might have some type of form with bat or ball is Derek Brangman with the ball. So
Chris Douglas, since he's been back, has been consistent.
Well, I'm talking with the Bailey's Bay.
Oh, with Bailey. Well, yeah.
I don't think nobody else could say that they're on form when we're talking about the Bailey's Bay team.
No.
And the captain had alluded to that.
Yeah.
Switch it over now to St. David's. They're going to lose the services of Dion Stovall because he plays for Cleveland.
Yeah. Alan Douglas,
which is uneligible altogether.
Ajon Lamb.
Mm-hmm. I believe he plays for Flats.
Mm-hmm.
But Stovall and Douglas have been on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one player you just talked about, he's actually been on fire since he's landed back.
Chris Douglas,
and I think if I remember correctly, after about 3 matches, he's got over 200, actually almost 300 runs.
Yeah.
Almost 300 runs. So he's averaging close to about 60 or
Sure.
But OJ Pitchers had a knock here and a knock there, but it's not been. If you asked him, he's not living up to what he wants, his expectations.
That consistency level he likes.
Delwan Borden, been a steady player, but he hasn't really done anything interesting enough to see if they do recall on the old man, Lionel Tican, which he finally
came out of exile last year.
and obviously I think it was a feel-good thing, not only with the fans, but I think also with the players was really accepted.
Right.
But also what they do with the Baskin brothers.
Well, last year they took a run day and they took Mackay from St. George.
I was there, so that was good. The newly appointed St. George's captain.
Yeah.
So what does that do to the chemistry of the team they already have? Because if you start looking at some of the players like that, then who's got to sit? And you look at, they have a challenge every week of trying to pick an 11.
Team. Yeah.
So it's going to be hard. It's going to be interesting to see what team comes out, but I guarantee, folks, do not miss that match on Saturday starting at 10 a.m. and with the highlights and scores via Islandstats.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
Well, Jay, one might say this has been a cricket program, but we cannot leave without speaking about the countdown to the annual Cup Match Classic. HSBC, the title sponsors, held a press conference recently with the two club presidents. Let's get the interview with the Cup Match Countdown from HSBC.
I'm delighted to welcome our club presidents, Alfred for Somerset and Neil for St George's, my home team. This is our major kickoff for Cup Match. HSBC is absolutely delighted. This is our 11th year of sponsoring Cup Match. This is super important to both HSBC but also to the island, as without doubt it is the largest sporting event that takes place. Very exciting. I will be rooting for clearly one of the two teams, but if it's anything like last year, again, it will be a wonderful match. Now we've got good coverage, both from a perspective, we're arranging coverage both from a perspective of national television, but there'll also be live streaming, and coverage will be available on radio as well. So really enjoy Cup Match. Again, HSBC is proud to sponsor Cup Match for the 11th year, and it's really a terrific event for the whole island to celebrate and enjoy. Now what I'd like to do is just hand over to Alfred to say a few words about his team.
Thanks a lot. And again, we want to thank HSBC for their support. It's important to not only the clubs, but to the whole event. When we have sponsorship that HSBC has provided over the years. Now, fortunately for Somerset this year, all we have to do is show up in St. George and do our job. St. George has all of the work, and so I take my hat off to Neil for putting on this event. It's a lot of work, and I think one thing that both clubs would like to see more of is more community help in making the event what it is. So Somerset is all ready. All we have to do is polish the cup, bring it St. George so that everybody can see themselves in it, and then we'll be taking it back to Somerset.
Neil.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, on behalf of the St. George's Cricket Club, as officers and members, we would like to thank HSBC once again for the wonderful sponsorship, and we hope that it continues on. We just want to say to the general public that we hope you all come down to St. George's to witness not only a fabulous facility, because my committee and our members have worked very hard to ensure that it is not only a clean place, but a safe place and a wonderful place to be in the greatest place on earth and on the island. But I would like to say to Somerset, we will welcome you down with the polished trophy. We will ensure that there is a safe place for it to be, right in HSBC in St. George's. But on behalf of our officer members, we just want to say welcome to Cup Match, and we look forward to 2 fabulous days. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of fun. Enjoy Cup Match. Come and support your team. I will be certainly supporting mine. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen.
He says that with
Thank
a
you
ring
very
tie. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Jay, at the National Equestrian Center, I got an opportunity to speak to 2 young ladies who will represent Bermuda in New York in a dressage festival in August. 2 young ladies who have been in the sport of dressage for just about 2 years, looking to experience something different, riding new horses. It's going to be a challenge for them, but one that they look up to and feel like they stand a chance.
The opportunity. And once again, this is what the great thing is that sports does bring, is opportunity. And Earl, watching the footage, you can see how they glow talking about the opportunity. And that's what you love to see.
I'm Robin Stemple. And I'm Kelsey Amos.
You young ladies are off to New Jersey, New York?
Yes.
For a dressage event.
Yes.
What do you think about the competition that you'll face in a foreign place, number one, and using different horses?
Well, this is a big competition. This is, I think, one of our biggest foreign ones, especially for dressage. And yeah, it's just totally different. I guess this is a new experience for both of us, so we're gonna have to see how it goes. Yeah.
What would you consider your strengths for dressage? Because it's a skill, plus it's a discipline.
I think my biggest strength is, well, riding the horse, and I've been riding not that long, so it's kind of difficult to learn like a lot in one lesson and stuff.
Would you say it's going to be easier for you because you haven't been riding long, that you'll be on another horse to kind of get through where you've not been with one particular horse for a very long time?
I think it's going to be a little harder.
Yeah.
Because with my horse, I've been riding him for about 2 years, I think, and I've been getting used to him through those 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get on another horse that's totally brand new, it's harder because I don't know the horse well enough to ride it.
What do you think?
Well, I do agree it's going to be hard. We only get probably about a week of riding it before we show, and here we've spent years with these horses here. But, I guess it's just the experience that you're going to have to get to go away and try different horses, because this is like what it's going to be with every other competition we go away with. So I guess it's going to be a good learning experience for both of us.
What would you say would be your favorite? Because you're doing dressage and you're also into jumping, what would you say would be your favorite?
Personally, I'm dressage because I like the challenge of it. I like the connection you have with your horse, and I just think it's great how once you finish something, you can always go on to something that's harder and more challenging. so I prefer dressage.
Personally, I like dressage, but I prefer jumping. I like speed, and like I go against the clock. I don't really think that I compete against other people. I think it's just me and beating my personal best and things.
For you guys, training here, you don't know what to encounter, but when the discipline of dressage, you have to remember the trot, the canter, that you have to know it, and then you have to kind of make sure that the horse understands what you got to do.
Correct.
How
yeah.
challenging could that be?
Well, that's why I love dressage, is because like you have that connection with your horse, and there's nothing better than that, is being able to not push your horse to do something but ask them to do it. And once you have that connection, it's just you and your horse in the ring there, and it's just you with your mind just going over stuff, and it's the best thing ever for me.
All right, well, I want to say all the best, and we'll be in touch while you're there and when you come back.
Okay, thank you.
2 weeks today.
For what?
You figure it out. Folks, it's been real. 2 weeks today.
The triple header of red and blue will be defeated 2 weeks and 1 day from today. Have a good night.